Yo, what's poppin' Pokepals? Rare Boy here, and welcome to a brand new series on my channel called Fusion Fighter, where you guys tell me what two Pokemon to fuse, and then we see if our abominations can solo run a game. After the success of my Venustoise video, I had to keep up the fusion runs, so today, we were requested to find out if it's possible to beat Pokemon Fire Red using only a Cyndachu, a fusion between Cyndaquil and Pichu. Before we can even begin our challenge, I first need to import Cyndachu sprites into our version of Pokemon Fire Red. I make all the contender sprites for this series myself, so if they look like a 5-year-old made them, you know why. Once the sprites are in the game, I then need to edit the game's internal data, so its once empty data now functions exactly like a Cyndachu would. I code in its typing, which is fire and electric, base stats, which are pretty much Cyndaquil since I always give the fusion the higher stats because Darwin's law of survival, and its moveset, which is literally the combination of the two Pokemon, which are Pichu and Cyndaquil. Now that our Cyndachu is in our game, let's review the rules of the run. The first rule is that I'm only allowed to use Cyndachu in battle. We are allowed to capture other Pokemon for HM usage, but they cannot assist Cyndachu by any other means. The second rule is that I'm not allowed to use items in battle. Held items such as leftovers are okay, but items such as X items or Hyper Potions are banned until the battle has ended. And finally, no glitches or exploits will be used to complete this game. It's just a normal playthrough of Pokemon Fire Red, but with a Cyndachu. With the rules explained in our Cyndachu in game, let's jump into some gameplay. The first thing that I do is pick up our Cyndachu from Professor Oak's lab. For this run, I replaced Charmander, so our rival takes Squirtle for somewhat of a challenge, as Cyndachu's typing is good against all three starters. I don't nickname fused Pokemon, as their fusion name is demeaning enough. I took a look at his stats, and he has a gentle nature, which means more special defense but less defense, which is With Cyndachu on the team, though, it's time to conquer the Kanto region. After burning Verdian Forest to the ground, we try our luck at Brock, and it doesn't go well as you'd expect. With only fire, electric, and normal type attacks, and no way of gaining special attack EVs, we are in no position to fight Brock right now. I'll have to come back at a higher level. I went back into this fight at level 19 after learning Flame Wheel, which deals much better damage than Ember, allowing us to take out Geodude fairly quickly. Onix wasn't so easy though. He lowered our speed with Rock Tomb, allowing him to outspeed us, and if he went for a second Rock Tomb, we would have easily gone down. Thankfully, Brock is an idiot and went for Bind and Tackle, allowing us to get 2 more Flame Wheels off and finishing the fight with a victory. At the Nugget Bridge, we met up with our rival Morty, and this fight came right down to the wire, and it was all thanks to Pidgeotto's stupid sand attack, which made us miss a couple of our attacks. By the time we got to Rattata, we only had 13 HP, and I knew one hit would be enough to KO it, but it got the jump on us with Quick Attack and left us with just 4 HP as we don't miss our Flame Wheel and take it out. That was too close for comfort. I was about ready to call Misty's fight a loss when I seen Starmie outspeed us and how much damage Water Pulse did to us, but we hit hard with Thundershock and managed to paralyze Starmie, allowing us to outspeed it next turn and take it out. The RNG gods were looking down on us in this fight. Another rival fight on the SS Anne, and thankfully we don't get an accuracy drop by Pidgeotto this time. It still wasn't an easy fight as our rival's Pokemon can still take our hits and dish him out, but in the end we pulled out a victory just above red health. Lieutenant Surge wasn't a difficult fight as our own electric typing kept us safe from his shockwaves. Electric types can unfortunately get paralyzed in Generation 3, which Surge manages to do with his Raichu, using Thunder Wave on us. He couldn't do much to us from there offensively though, so we beat him in the end. Maybe he should have fused his Pikachu with the Quilava and his Raichu with the Typhlosion for some more power. I figured I'd take on Erica since we're a fire type, and her matchup would be a piece of cake, and it starts off that way, but then Vileplume survives our Flame Wheel and puts us to sleep with Sleep Powder. We wake up just in time to finish her off with Aerial Ace, but that match did not go as I originally planned it to. I took on our rival again in Pokemon Tower. Upon KOing Pidgeotto, we hit level 40 and learned Flamethrower, which is excellent. This is by far one of the best moves we will have for the run, and we will for sure be on our final moveset. Oh yeah, the rival fight. Man, we completely destroyed this man. Nothing to see here. Now that we have Flamethrower, try my luck at Giovanni, and I'm not gonna lie, we almost lost. Onyx and Rhyhorn were both 2 shots, but thankfully neither one of them hit us. Rhyhorn did manage to lower our speed though, so Kanga outsped us, lowering our defense with Tail Whip and then landing a massive Mega Punch on us, bringing us just above red health from full before we took her out. Kanga is always a scary opponent when Giovanni is playing his moves right. I finally had enough money to buy the Thunderbolt TM from the Celadon Game Corner and leveled up Cyndachu to 54, but even with these preparations, Muck survives our attacks on a sliver and poisons us with Toxic, ultimately taking us out. Damn, let's see how our rival goes. Well, our rival Morty wasn't much easier as Blastoise survives our Thunderbolt in Torrent range and lands a massive water gun on us. Thankfully, once he went down though, the rest of Morty's team crumbled, but it was a pretty close match. Giovanni's fight was absolutely insane. First of all, we couldn't OHKO any of his Pokemon, so we withstood a hit from everything on his team. Rhyhorn took the longest to take out and even lowered our speed with Scary Face again. Thanks to the speed drop, Kanga came in and landed a Mega Punch, leaving us in a yellow, as her second one missed. Thank God. We took her out and Nidoqueen came in. She double kicked us, activating our static ability, as we survive in red health. We outspeed now thanks to the paralysis, but are just shy of KOing her as she becomes unable to move due to paralysis and we take her out next turn. So many things were in our favor that fight. I have to remember Cyndachu basically has the stats of a Cyndaquil, so we need to train this little guy more. With Team Rocket now at a Saffron, I went straight for Sabrina, and thanks to Double Edge, we steamrolled through her physically frail Pokemon. Now that we have a couple of levels under our belt, and the charcoal item, I tried Koga again, and while Weezing and Muck still withstood our flamethrowers, we managed to not get poisoned and came out victorious after a high roll on our third flamethrower against Weezing. I got Cyndachu up to level 65 before taking on Blaine and taught this little guy Eruption, and holy crap is it a powerful move! Even without full health, it deals about 3/4 to Rapidash. This move might be our saving grace against rock types if we can keep Cyndachu healthy. Damn, never mind rock types, Eruption just scorches everything and anything in its path as seen by Giovanni's fight. The Rhydon in the champion fight has me the most worried, so hopefully Eruption is our saving grace against him. One final rival fight before the Elite Four, and we still don't have the stats to OHKO Blastoise with a Thunderbolt yet, as we once again get slammed hard by a turret boosted water gun. I'm gonna need to one-shot this thing next time I see it, because it's gonna have Hydro Pump by then. Thankfully, our flamethrower is still enough to handle the rest of his team, but I don't think I'll be able to say the same is true once he gets that Rhyhorn into a Rhydon. Here are our stats just outside the Elite Four at level 80, and because special attack EVs are impossible to obtain in the early game of Fire Red, our special attack is nowhere near what I would like it to be at. Our moveset isn't bad, it's just lacking a ton of coverage. I'll probably have to make the plunge to even see Lance, but let's see how well we do at this level. First up in the Elite Four is Lorelei, and I mean, our typing was practically built for her team. We Thunderbolt everything on the field for a one-shot aside from Jinx, who goes down to a flamethrower. On to Bruno. Next up is Bruno, and to not mess around with damage calcs, I just use Eruption on each of his Pokemon and watch them fall one by one. I'll pop a Max Elixir on Cyndachu and keep this train rolling. Just like Bruno's match, I don't risk damage calcs and just go straight for Eruptions on Agatha's Gengars and Arbok. As for Golbat and Haunter, they were handled nicely by Thunderbolt and Flamethrower respectfully. I went into Lance's fight fearing Dragonite when it was Aerodactyl who was the real threat. He still manages to outspeed us, and of course he gets an Omni Boost from Ancient Power, so it was GG's from there. Time to make the plunge, I suppose. Okay, so here's what we're looking at level 100. Our stats aren't much better, but there should definitely be a difference in overall power and speed. I didn't change up the moveset as I feel like we can win with this setup. Let's see how Lance goes now. Okay, so at level 100, we easily outspeed Aerodactyl, but then Lance throws the fight. I'm not kidding, he actually throws the fight. Usually he sends out Dragonite afterwards, but he instead sent out his 2 Dragonairs so I could one-shot them with max power eruptions, and then when he sent in Dragonite, he just went for Safeguard. If he sent out Dragonite first and landed an Outrage, this might have been a different story, but he just straight up gave up the fight. Thanks, homie, I appreciate it. The champion fight was actually easy now that we can one-shot Blastoise with Thunderbolt. Once he was down, he sent in my next concern, which was Rhydon, who also got dropped by 1 max power eruption. From there, the rest of his team crumbled to eruptions, and Arcanine was handled by an eruption and a Thunderbolt combo for a smooth victory. With this victory, we registered Cyndachu into the Kanto Hall of Fame. I never know what I'm going to get with these Fusion Fighter challenges, but they are a ton of fun to do, so keep requesting them. If you have a Pokemon Fusion in mind, write it down in the comments section, and if I like your Fusion idea and want to do a run with it, I'll heart and pin your comment. Just FYI, I will always use the stronger Pokemon stats, and if you decide to fuse 2 dual-type Pokemon, I'll most likely use their primary typings, so please keep that in mind when making a Fusion suggestion. Also, if your Fusion has an evolution, let me know if you want me to evolve it during a run, like I did in my Venusaur run. If you don't want to miss any of my other Fusion challenges, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Also, be sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, as it helps out the YouTube algorithm. This has been your boy Rare Boy, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace!
Excuse me, did you just watch this video? You must have if you made it this far into the video. And yet you haven't liked, commented, shared, or subscribed. The Rare Boy working very hard on these videos. Please do the man a favor.